What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video, and today is going to be another progression guide because number one, you never have too many progression guides. There's way too many people that need help. They ask you for help. I send them a video where they're like, "Oh, Yadi, you didn't explain it very well." Well, I guess maybe the more I explain it, the better they will grasp it.
Firmly grasp it!
So today we're doing how to think like an endgame player being me, progression-wise. Before we get into it, I do want to ask you guys to please scroll down and subscribe. We are going for 30k in the YouTube rank, and every subscription helps me out immensely. I also stream at twitch.tv/Yadi, so make sure to check me out there, and let's get into the video. You get YouTube rank by the end of summer, you'll do a 3-bill giveaway since you're bored. Boys, wait. Let me reiterate that. If I get YouTube rank by the end of summer, Scaps will donate and give away 3 billion coins. The ball's in your court. What I would like to do is just talk about my progression in a way that you guys can kind of form your progression in the same way. Thinking like an endgame player. But in terms of this, it's progression. So because I haven't played in a while, we're going to take a look at my progression. My progression is going to look a lot different than your guys' progression because you guys are not at the same, most of you are not at the same point in the game as I am. I saw somebody that recorded like thinking like a champion, which obviously for an FPS game, a little bit different. But for Skyblock, it still applies. So the way I look at progression, take my level on level 454. I look at progression in terms of Skyblock level because Skyblock level is all I really care about. Progression for most other people is going to be Skyblock level along with net worth. And the reason why is because when you're grinding out all of these skills and you're doing all of like Kudra, M7, you need stuff like MP. You need stuff like good gear. You need good enchants. You need all of this stuff on top of whatever you're doing so you can do it efficiently, and that costs money. That's why when I talk about early game, mid game, end game, early game is like less than 6 billion coin net worth. Mid game is 6 bill to probably 15 bill. Late game is going to be 15 bill plus, and then end game is truly only measured by Skyblock level. Weight doesn't really apply. But so let's take a look. So I have Skyblock level. The stuff I still need to do, bestiary, which we will dive into in a second. I also still need to max powder. I also still need to max class average 50. And I also need to do Hypixel hunt. So those are the 4 things. Those are the 4 different areas. Starting with stuff that I can't do passively. So I'd like to explain this more in depth because I don't think I really went over what technically passive XP is, and maybe I didn't use the best term for it. So the term that I meant to use was passive, but you're stacking XP. So for example, if I want to stack XP, I want to be most efficient about what I'm doing. Say I'm leveling up fishing. Say I just hit level 28, trying to do lava fishing, trying to progress through fishing levels. Well, other things that I can do that would also be somewhat passive in stacking this XP is, number one, I'm getting bestiary for all the fishing mobs, especially when I fish with other people, so that's easy XP right there. While I'm fishing in Crimson Isle, I could go get 1,000,000 damage at every mini-boss, so that while I'm fishing, if somebody kills that mini-boss, I'm getting bestiary for that done, so that would be stacking that XP as well. This technically wouldn't really be quote-unquote stacking, but making sure I'm fishing during Marina, so that I'm gaining fishing XP levels faster. Leveling pets with EXP share, and leveling pets that I need for fishing pets with fishing XP, which gives me more pet score, which in turn gets me more Skyblock level, would also be a way of stacking Skyblock level. So just this is kind of an example, but it applies to a lot of different things. Like right now I'm mining. Well, while I'm mining, I'm leveling up pets that I don't have at 100, which I do have all pets at 100 now. So now I'm just leveling G-Drags for money. But that would be a way of stacking XP because I'm going for powder, and then I'm also trying to level pets. Bestiary can be done somewhat passively, and I'll explain that in a second as well. Let me just upgrade Hypixel. So stuff that can't be done passively. Class average cannot be done passively. You have to go and do the runs yourself. You have to grind out the runs yourself. You have to find parties. You can't AFK in parties. Class average has to be done yourself, and this is a multi-100-hour grind. So I look at this and I think, when would be the most efficient time for me to grind class average? Well, it would have been 3 perk Paul with Derpy following it, And then I think Paul was elected again. And guess what I didn't do? Class average. I'm bad. I should have done it. I could have done so much XP during that time, but I didn't. I was not smart about it. But if I was going to be efficient, I'm going to try to do as many runs as I possibly can during Derpy and during 3-perk Paul, because the runs are going to be faster, you're going to make more money, and all that stuff. Taking a look at this, so obviously best time, other things that can make this more efficient. If you have people online that want to play with you, a lot of downtime in dungeons is simply from waiting for parties, jumping around Dungeon Hub, waiting for an hour, getting a party, playing for a whopping 30 minutes, having to wait for a party again. So if you can find a perm, or you can make a perm, grind out runs together, that's going to make dungeons way more efficient. Torden, yeah, Torden has more time in Dungeon Hub than in actual runs. That's a crazy thing to say. That's crazy that is the world we exist in. That is that's how important having a perm is. Moving on from that, powder is something that can be done at any time. Obviously, powder is going to be faster during ×2 events. If you just have a setup and then all of a sudden you see ×2 powder, probably should go do comms. That's what I've been doing today. Powder doesn't take that long at all, but there's not really much else to say about powder. Same with Hoppity Sun. Hoppity Sun is AFK. It's somewhat being active and making sure that you level stuff up and that you are being efficient with it. You could use the SBE thing that shows you the best upgrade. You could use Sky Handy that shows you the effective cost and the best thing to upgrade. But Hoppity is something that will be done over time. And in terms of bestiary, now bestiary is something that's going to be passive. Just like Hoppity Sun, Hoppity Sun is also passive. So the two active ones I have left are class average and I have powder. The passive ones I have left are Hoppities. That's something that's going to be gradually done. That's going to get me easy XP, but also bestiary. Why is bestiary passive? Well, it's only certain bestiaries. So if you look at what I actually have left in terms of bestiary, I have dragons. Dragons is kind of passive. I could just be warped in lobbies, get a hit, wait for it to die, bam, dragon dead, I get my bestiary for it. But there's going to be so many people doing dragons during the primal update that there's no reason for me to worry about doing it now, because I'll just max it extremely quickly. Same for the winter ones, except there's no bonus to waiting on range drakes. It's just every winter I should be AFKing or be getting warps into range drake bosses. It's not actually worth it to fish up the bosses myself. Same for Jabus, and I only have 21 Jabus left. I can just AFK in a Crimson Isle lobby until I see blah 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 blahs died to Jabus. Then I go fly over, check all the normal spots, get my Jabus bestiary. Because if I have all these other fishing bestiaries done, which I finally finished Pyro Worms, there's no reason for me to actually fish for Jabus unless I want to make some money. But it's a lot easier to just AFK and wait for Jabus spawns. So that would be passive. That would be passive. Dragons are technically passive. Crimson Isle. Now, this is one of the ones that isn't passive. Ashfang boss kind of sucks. You need a good party. Got to teach them how to do it. I've done Ashfang bosses as quick as... What's the record that we have, Kudra? 50, sub 50 seconds for sure. I think 42 seconds might be the record. Maybe it's... You get a party, you get a good party, you can knock this out in a day or two. But this is an active thing to grind. Dungeons. Dungeons is where a lot of my bestiary XP still lies. And the reason why is just because I simply haven't done as much dungeons as other players. But look at this. These are all bestiaries that I can finish while doing class average. So that's why I consider this to be passive. It's a very good XP gain method, Skyblock XP gain type of thing. So basically what I'm trying to say is you take a look at class average, right? Class average is going to be slow XP. I don't even know how fast it is. It's 4 XP every level up. Level ups take forever. Take multiple of hours. But you gotta also incorporate the fact that you're gonna be gaining Skyblock XP from the bestiary as well. So my most efficient XP gain right now is probably doing dungeons and M7. And I just don't want to. The only thing that M7 is not going to accomplish is terracottas. I think everything else is a mob that spawns in M7 runs. And there are some that I might not even max out from class average 50, but I think the only one would be terracottas because I wouldn't be doing M6. Everything else should be done, and lonely spiders I've just been slacking on by the time I hit class average 50. And in terms of progression, I mean, that's all I have left. Technically, it's not everything I have left. I still have some quote-unquote stuff that matter, but are technically cosmetic, like the 1 billion gold collection. Like, that would still give me boosted damage. But does it really matter? Is it really worth it? Is it really something I want to do? Well, I guess I'll find out in the future. I do have, now as you can see, I have a 4.2 billion coin purse. So I do have like other things that I would like to accomplish. I have my Yadi's to-do list. Now the one thing about Yadi's to-do list, right, is this is all things I can purchase with money. Because Skyblock XP, everything I have left cannot be purchased with money. Everything that I have on this board can. And it's not like stuff that I'm going to be able to... I mean, I'm going to throw it in the museum, but I'm not going to get any XP from it. This is just gradual goals I want to get, other than 8-ball. But I'm not purchasing 8-ball right now because, you know, you take a look at it, it's 900 mil. Like, who would ever pay that much money for a magic 8-ball? But you can see, like, Zoro's Cape, I would like to get eventually. Annihilation Cloak, second term. Pendant of Devon, a Rager, Midas Staff. Actually, what I forgot to add would be Devon's Alloy. But none of this stuff is actual stuff that's going to benefit me in the game for the most part. You paid $417 for 8-ball on day 1. Yeah, and Dexter paid 300 mil too. That's why I'm so mad. I thought it was going to go down. I didn't think it was going to go up. Why did I wait? But that's how I lay out my progression. If you have any questions, let me know. I can look at a couple other people's progressions. That'd basically just be a profile review, though. You can take a look at some of the guys that I was profile reviewing yesterday. The best form of progression is always to follow Mare Cycle. Yeah, sure. I'll take a look at Russ. So Russ, this is going to be less of a profile review, more of a progression type thing. Basically, the first thing that I would look at if I have his net worth. Net worth is low. The goal, hit 6 bill net worth. Why? You can get into Kudra. Now, I will say, Kudra, the money you make from Kudra is so much lower now because of the changes that hunting has made. I would assume it's still worth getting into Kudra. I don't know. I might make a video that like delves into that or looks into that, look at the numbers and see if... Because God rolls still sell for a decent amount. And you take a look at attributes would be where a lot of money comes from that might have tanked. But, I mean, you never know. So I would be trying to make money. How do you make money before you're playing Kudra? Well, number one, it'd be farming and foraging. Or farming and mining. And he's already mining 47. He has a Glaciite Golem, which is kind of an expensive purchase. He's got good equipment, good Devons, 655. He could be mining to make money right now. I'm assuming he's just going for comms and Glaciite Powder. But he has a good setup, and he just needs to continue to build the net worth until he can purchase a Hype, a Turn, get good MP. That's also something that is very needed, because 536 is not going to cut it, as well as at some point a G-Drag. But a G-Drag is kind of lesser on terms of what you really need. Eventually going to have to get Ender Slayer 7 for term. But again, that's kind of how I would structure that type of progression. I would try to build net worth at this point in the game if I'm early game. Due to the way fishing progression works, I would personally throw fishing minions down until fishing 28. Try to redeem during Marina so that you get bonus XP. Just because fishing outside of lava fishing, even if you're fishing in marina events and spooky, is kind of trash and really not worth your time. So having fishing minions down until you can start fishing up lava sea creatures is a very effective thing you can do to level up your fishing. Second book in less than 2 stacks of feathers. Oh, that's some Yadi stream luck, baby. But yeah, so that's how I structure progression. Obviously during Derpy, try to do alchemy, try to do foraging. He's been doing his enchanting every day. You should be doing it for tier 7 books. All these little niche things that you'll learn as you play the game more. Try to do your daily catacombs. You get more XP. Oh, we hit social 20! We can rename the island! Boys! Let's go! GG! But that's all I have for you. So with that, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you got something out of it, please comment, let me know. Like, subscribe, and as always, I always get these comments on these kinds of videos. They're like, oh, let's just play the game for fun, Yadi. Why do you have to do it this? I'm not saying don't have fun, okay? Have all the fun you want. It is a video game. Have fun. The purpose of the video is to give guidance to those who ask for guidance. Because if you're searching up progression guide, if you're searching up how to do this, odds are you're not having fun because you have no idea what you should be doing. And with that, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Be sure to join the Discord, check out the Twitch, twitch.tv/Yadi, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.